Your kid used to tell you everything. What happened at recess, who said something mean, what they were scared of. And then, one day, they just stopped. And the terrifying thing is, you don't know exactly when it happened. There was no fight, no big moment. They just slowly went quiet. What if I told you that silence isn't rebellion? It isn't teenage moodiness. It isn't even about you. It's a neurological survival response, and most parents accidentally trigger it every single day. There's a region in your child's brain called the amygdala. Think of it as an alarm system, constantly scanning the environment for threats. And here's what most parenting books won't tell you. That alarm doesn't just go off for physical danger, it goes off for emotional danger too. Researchers at the University of Michigan found that when children anticipate a negative reaction from a parent, a lecture, frustration, dismissal, their brains enter what's called emotional flooding. The prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for language and reasoning, essentially goes offline. They don't shut you out because they don't love you. They shut you out because their brain decides it is not safe to speak here. And the most heartbreaking part, the parent is usually completely unaware they did anything wrong. They were just being a parent, asking questions, trying to help. So what are these invisible triggers? Let's look at the three most common ones. Trigger number 1, the fix-it reflex. Your daughter comes home upset. A friend said something cruel at school. She starts talking about it, and before she even finishes the sentence, you're already in problem-solving mode. Have you talked to her? Maybe you should just ignore her. Here's what you should do. She goes quiet. Not because your advice was bad, but because she didn't come to you for a solution. She came to you to feel understood. The moment you jumped to fixing it, her brain registered one message: my emotions are a problem to be solved. And problems don't want to keep being brought to the person who makes them feel like a burden. Trigger number 2, the minimizer. It's not a big deal. When I was your age, you think that's hard? We do this because we love them. We want to give perspective. We want to protect them from worrying. But neuroscience tells us something different is happening. Dr. Daniel Siegel at UCLA calls this misattunement, when a child's emotional experience is not matched by the person they're sharing it with. And every single time it happens, the child learns the full truth of what I feel is too much for this relationship. They start editing themselves, first a little, then a lot, and eventually you're only getting the highlight reel. Trigger number 3, the interrogation disguised as love. How was school? Fine. What did you do? Nothing. Who did you sit with at lunch? I don't know, Mom. Sound familiar? The issue isn't the questions, it's the pressure that lives underneath them. Children, especially adolescents, are exquisitely sensitive to feeling monitored. When every conversation feels like an interview, the conversation stops. Research on adolescent disclosure, published in the Journal of Adolescence, shows that teens are far more likely to open up spontaneously in side-by-side activities, with no eye contact, no pressure, and no obvious agenda. They don't want to sit down, they want to drive. Now here's the part that changes everything. This is reversible. The brain's capacity for connection doesn't disappear, it just goes dormant when it doesn't feel safe. And safety can be rebuilt. The single most powerful thing you can do, and this is backed by decades of attachment research, is practice with psychologist Carl Rogers called Unconditional Positive Regard. In plain language, let them feel that your love is not contingent on what they say, what grade they got, or whether they made the right choice. That no matter what comes out of their mouth, the relationship survives. That means the next time your kid tells you something that scares you, something you disagree with, something that worries you, your job isn't to react. Your job is to stay in the room. Say less, stay longer.
Ask one question instead of 10. How did that make you feel? And do it in the car, or on a walk, or side by side on the couch, watching something. Let closeness sneak up on them without an agenda. Because here's the truth no parenting book says out loud. Your child isn't looking for a perfect parent. They're looking for a safe one. A parent who can handle the messy, confusing, embarrassing, real version of them without flinching. The moment they believe you can handle it, they'll start talking again. If this hit home for you, share it with one other parent, not because they're doing something wrong, but because this is the kind of thing we all need to hear before the silence gets too loud. I'll see you in the next one.